Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It's coffee time. Let's hope it works properly today. News, I suppose. It's not very good. Not very good news out there. It's all doom and gloom. It's no good news at all. Never is there really? It's always pretty miserable. And we'll just do a brief nosegay at what's happening. We're doing G7, aren't we? All the leaders are getting together. Wimbledon, doing Wimbledon at the moment. It's early days at Wimbledon though. Boris Becker's not there because he's in the clink. Normally he does the. They should just have him commentating from prison, wouldn't they? They could do that. Why couldn't they do that? Apparently, support for rail strikes has increased to 45%. Do you know why? Because everyone's working from home. Good thing about COVID, isn't it? Everyone's got used to the old WFH. Let's all work from home. Because we've got the electricity and heating crisis. They reckon that consumers who've got smart meters, I've got one, we could get £6 from the national grid if we turn off our electricity at peak hours and save electricity. So they'll pay us £6 to not use electricity. I like the sound of that. But it's going to take a lot of sitting in the dark to pay the electricity bill because those prices are going up. I think we're going to have to buy a box of candles or something to get something going on. Yeah, other than that, it's all pretty miserable. So now Robert Davis, he's in the doghouse. How so? Well, he's got a nice home, and he's trying to block the removal of a tree. Planners, they want to remove a tree from outside his £4 million home, and coming thick and fast today. He told a planning meeting that his wife's privacy would be compromised if the 60-year-old willow tree would be removed to allow a floating pontoon to be built on the River Thames. He told council planners, "My wife looks pretty with her clothes on, less so without. The tree hides it even in winter." He claims it was a tongue-in-cheek comment, but his missus is furious with him. Now let's have a look at his missus. I was expecting a right munter, but I don't know. I think they should get rid of the tree and give us some binoculars. What do you reckon? So yeah, he's in the doghouse. There's nothing wrong with Mrs. Folletti. But that's probably one of the worst planning excuses I've ever heard. Who else is in the doghouse? This fella here. He's not been identified. But this is on a Southwest Airlines flight from Detroit to Denver on Saturday. He was arrested as soon as the flight landed in Denver. And there's a picture of him here. What did Larry do? Larry managed to airdrop. I don't know if you've ever used an iPhone, or airdropping is where you drop files to other people's phones if they're like unsecured. You can turn it off on and off again. You don't have to have it activated. But he airdropped the entire plane a picture of his junk. Yes, he did. And here's Larry. Here he is. And yeah, he got done. I guess it was indecency by exposure, by proxy, exposure by proxy now, electronic exposure. It's a terrible thing. Meanwhile, in court news, we have the story of 55-year-old Wendy Mountford. Here she is. She's just dodged a prison sentence. What did she do? She was in a local fish and chip shop on April 24th last year, and she got a bit angry at the Shepherd Street Chippie in Biddulph, Staffordshire. The 55-year-old had ordered 2 meals for delivery to a bungalow, but some items weren't there. So she called the chip shop to complain, and the business owner, Shirley Hollis, decided to deliver the food items herself and left them on the doorstep in line with the coronavirus rules, because remember, we couldn't do anything. But Mountford got angry, stormed out, and threw chips and mushy peas at her victim's back before smashing a plate in her face, leaving the victim looking like that. And she dodged a sentence. Can you believe that? I think she should, because it's not very nice, mind you. If you work in a fish and chip shop, I guess you should expect to get battered and have your chips. I don't write any of this, I make it up as I go along. I really do. Who's got 1.75 million pounds to spend? Anyone? No. This is a luxury properties on the market in Shropshire. It's in Shrewsbury, and it boasts stunning views. It looks absolutely lovely. Look at it. You fancy a bit of that? Do you fancy a bit of that? Have you got the money for that? Yeah. The only problem is, it looks like you're living in the Teletubby house. There you go. In case you don't remember what the Teletubbies look like, they look like that. So yeah, it's one of those eco houses, isn't it? Not very good. Don't worry, folks. The Gimp is back. Who? This is the return of the Gimp. He looks like this. He's back. Yeah, this fella had been missing. He's been doing the rounds since 2018. He disappeared for a while. He operates in and around the village of Yatton in Somerset, and teaching assistant Kira Elston and her boyfriend were walking home at 1 a.m. in the morning, and they were confronted by the Gimp. He doesn't say anything. He just walks around. But yeah, that picture was taken in 2019. He's a bit like the Yeti or Sasquatch. Very few people get the chance to see the Gimp. Let's end with a animal story. This is the story of Coco the Yorkie. She's a female Yorkie puppy, and she was on the backyard. Just wait. Out in the backyard when a bald eagle swooped down. There she is. She's over the side, and there goes the eagle, and swoops off with her. But luckily, don't worry, she's not finished. She comes running back. Whoa! How about that? What? I think she needs to change her name to Lucky. Yeah, okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll check the chat room, but there's very rarely anybody there. But we'll have a little looky. Oh, Igman's in. He says, what do you think about Porcupine Tree? I'd never heard of them. Never heard of them. Payne's in. Gimp, worst superhero ever. He's been around before. He's again, he's a funny old fella that keeps bothering the people of that village. He wanders around. I've read his story before, so I was surprised to see his return. But I think we've covered all the top news there. All the top stories. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you haven't, well, there will be other better people with faster computers along in a minute. Don't worry, the missus gets it. All right, missus. Hope you've enjoyed your lunch today, because missus, I watch this. She watches this at lunch. I only do it for the missus. And we'll do this all again soon. Thanks for watching. That's been the news. Don't forget to drink it up.